Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem is the newest animated movie from the TMNT franchise. Now, this is a big franchise, so my assumption is that you know at least a little bit of the Ninja Turtles. So, for those who don't know, the Ninja Turtles are turtles who were mutated at a young age and were trained by their master Splinter to become ninjas. Crazy concept, but it's been something that's been very popular for a long time. So this is the newest animated movie. I believe it's the second movie or second animated movie to release in theatrical theaters. There's been a few animated movies, but not all of them have released in theaters. This is another origin story, something we've seen plenty of times for the Ninja Turtles, but it does things a little bit differently. So this movie is an action comedy, lots of fun. Super hilarious. I haven't laughed this much in a movie in a long time. They did a fantastic job adapting the Ninja Turtles. The four turtles really feel like modern teens. They're hilarious. Just fantastically done, well written. Same thing with April. Like I said, it's a little bit of a new direction for the Ninja Turtles. Not anything too crazy, but where we end up with the Turtles, I think, is the most exciting part. It's fantastically animated. We're in the golden age of animation, kind of thanks to Spider-Verse. Ever since the Spider-Verse movie was so popular, we've been getting a lot more unique looking animated movies, and this one's definitely it. I love the designs. They're really amazing. I love the animation, how everything's set up. It's really beautiful and unique. Like I said, the story it's really good. It's really the story, kind of we've seen it many times, the not accepted kind of trope story where the turtles feel like they want to be part of society. They want to be regular teenagers. They want to go to high school. They want to be accepted, but they fear or they know that people aren't going to accept them, and it's kind of that journey. Their story is trying to get accepted by society, and I don't want to give away too much. I will talk spoilers a little bit, but I don't want to give too much of what their plan is to be accepted by society. But that's mostly the movie. They end up meeting April, which I don't think is a spoiler because if you watch the previews, they run into April, and with April they come up with a plan to hopefully get liked by the regular human people. And that's essentially the movie, them trying to be accepted, being these outcasts. And April kind of feels that way as well, as a lot of people at her high school just don't really care or like her. Not in a super, super mean way, but not in a nice way either. So that's the gist of the movie. Like I said, it's a great action comedy. You know, anyone who's a fan of the TMNT, I think they'll really enjoy it. There's, fun Easter eggs. There's a lot of cool, crazy mutants. There's a lot of fun stuff in it. And even if you're not and you just love animation, you're definitely going to love it for the animation. But overall, what it does best, it has great action, great comedy, and the emotional core of the movie definitely works. I really felt sad for the Turtles, and when they ended up, made me feel good and excited for the franchise. So I'm gonna talk spoilers real quick. If you haven't watched the movie, go watch it. It's fantastic. I give it an 8 out of 10. It's a 9 out of 10. No, I give it a 9 out of 10. It's a fantastic movie. I loved it. And maybe it's a little bit higher because I love the TMNT. I've been a fan for a long time. I've seen all the movies. And this is definitely, up there with the great ones, the good ones. Fantastic movie. Like I said, 9 out of 10. Great action comedy, great characters, great emotional core. You'll really enjoy it. So spoilers, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Spoilers, I'm going to talk it. So this movie starts with Baxter Stockman creating Superfly, who's the main bad guy of this movie. He's like a little baby fly in the beginning of the movie, like a big, like human-sized baby fly. And he's also creating other mutants, which are the mutants in the movie: Rocksteady Bebop, Fish Fillet, Genghis Frog, I forget the other ones. But he's creating these mutants. They're all little babies in the beginning of the movie. But his house is attacked by TCRI, who's trying to get the mutants and the mutagen. And things go wrong. Baxter Stockman ends up dying, or at least I believe he does die. They don't really confirm it, but it looks like he's dead. But Superfly is able to escape with the little baby mutants, and he takes off. And a little canister of ooze falls into the sewers, and of course that's what creates the Ninja Turtles. So it skips forward to 15 years later, where the Turtles are getting groceries, really stealth-like, and this is where we start understanding their feelings. Every time they go to get groceries and stuff, they're supposed to be really quick, but a lot of time they go out into the human world to watch movies or games or something. But they feel, again, they're outsiders. They're like, we want to enjoy this stuff with people, you know. We just feel like the freaks who can't be around people. And Master Splinter ends up finding out that they did this. They go to the movies at a park, and he gets upset because when they were little, they really wanted to go to the surface world, and Splinter decided to do it. He said, okay, I'm going to see if the humans will accept us. So they go out into the public in the middle of New York, and people start freaking out and yelling, and all kinds of craziness ensues, and Michelangelo almost gets hit by a truck. And it's just very intense for him, so he decides that we can't trust humans. Humans hate us, and they're just going to murder us, so we need to be content just hiding away from them. So that's what he tells his sons. He's just like, no, we need to stay away from them. We're never going to be part of the human society. They're never going to accept us. That's all there is to it. So that's where a lot of their fears and reservations come from. So they end up getting grounded, but after they are ungrounded, they're messing around with their weapons and ninja stars and everything, and they accidentally throw a ninja star that hits April on her helmet. She's driving a scooter, and Leonardo instantly kind of falls in love with her, which is fantastic. In the 2012 Ninja Turtles, Donatello fell in love with her, but this time it's Leonardo, I guess. But because of this, her scooter ends up getting stolen, and Leonardo's just like, we need to go help, get her scooter back. And the other turtles are just like, do we really need to? Like, we didn't do anything, just being kind of jerks about it. But he's like, yeah, I'm the leader, let's go. So they go, and they go to this chop shop where they're chopping up all kinds of stolen cars and everything like that. And this is like their first real fight. So they end up fighting, and they end up winning, and then April goes there, and she's like, oh, thank you for saving my bike and beating all these people up and everything. And then she's like, where are you guys? And they're kind of hiding in the shadows really badly. And she's like, I see you. You're like right there. You're being really sus, just hiding in the shadows. I can hear you. I can see you. So they show themselves, and of course she freaks out. And she's like, you're turtles or whatever. But eventually she comes down and she kind of accepts them. And they're like, hey, let's go eat pizza. So they get to talking, and they explain a little bit of their origin and everything like that. And she's like, well, I'm trying to be a reporter. I'm trying to get a big scoop. Do you mind if I write about you? And they're like, no, because, do you think people will actually accept this? And she's like, no, I don't think they would. I think, I was freaking out about you guys. If you guys didn't save my butt or help me get my scooter, I don't think you would have accepted me. And this kind of sets up the plot of the point. So they decide to stop Superfly, who has been robbing all these facilities around the city. They're like, maybe if we stop Superfly and we bring him to the cops and we make a big public display, people will see us as heroes and they'll accept us, just like April did. So that's kind of the plot of the movie. They start beating up all these gang members and everything, and slowly trying to get information to try to figure out who Superfly is. So eventually they get this truck that has a bunch of stolen gear, and they go to deliver it to Superfly, pretending that the thugs who had stolen that weapon or technology. And Superfly shows up with all the rest of the mutants, and he rips open the van truck or whatever, the top of it, and he sees that the turtles are mutants, and he's like, oh, he's very happy about it. He's like, mutants, we love mutants. You guys are like our cousins, so they accept them. And the turtles are also excited because they've never seen other mutants. So they start hanging out for a little bit at a bowling alley and really liking each other, and they're really happy. They're like, oh yeah, we'll have this big extended family who accept us and everything like that. But then they find out Superfly's plan, which is she's going to use all this technology to shoot out this chemical ray into the atmosphere that's going to spray down and turn all the animals and insects in the planet into mutants. And he's like, then we're going to kill all the humans. He's like, we're going to enslave them. We're going to, use them as puppets, all kinds of crazy things. And the turtles are just kind of like, we're not down for that. Yeah, we're not down for that plan. So they end up betraying Superfly, taking off with this technology, but it turns into this awesome car chase. But Superfly ends up getting the parts, and then the Turtles end up getting captured by TCRI, which leads to a cool action scene with Splinter saving them, but also this cool comedic bit. There's this running joke that I love in it where Splinter's all like, "We can't trust the humans because they'll capture us and experiments on us and milk us for our blood." And the Turtles are always just kind of making fun of us, like, "We don't even have nipples. How are they going to milk us or whatever?" So they get hooked up to these machines to start milking them. And they're like, "Oh no, we're being milked. That was right. I can't believe we're being milked." So when Splinter saves them, he's like, he sees the machine and he's like, "What is that?" He's like, "Is that a milker?" It even says milker on the machine. He's like, "Oh my gosh, I knew it. They were milking you." They're like, "No, Dad, no, we weren't being milked." Absolutely love that joke. I thought it was hilarious. I just can't stop thinking about it. Anyway, Splinter saves them and then decides to confront Superfly. They're like, "We can't let him do this evilness." So they go to stop him, and they convince the other mutants that, do you want to be mass murderers? Is that who you want to be? And all of them, except for Superfly, decide that, no, we don't want to be that. And during the fight, Splinter kind of realizes he's a little bit like Superfly, who's like, they'll never accept you. Superfly's controlling his family, the same way as Splinter's kind of controlling his sons, just deciding things for them. He's like, what I say goes. So he ends up having this epiphany, and he's just like, no, my sons need to be able to be who they need to be. So they try to stop Superfly, but the machine and Superfly fall into the ocean, and it ends up mutating him into this like big kaiju whale freaking fish monster. And then he goes on land and he touches a zoo and he gets fused with a bunch of horses and other animals. And he turns into this giant monster just rampaging through the city. So the Ninja Turtles and the rest of the mutants team up, which is really awesome. I love seeing this. Usually a lot of these mutants are bad guys in some continuities at least. So it's really cool seeing all of them team up with the Turtles to try to stop Superfly as this big kaiju monster. And they start trying to fight him. As they're fighting, the city, all the reporters in the city are saying that they're evil and bad guys. But April goes and she's just like, no, they're not bad guys. They're the good guys. They're trying to stop Superfly. So slowly but surely, the people of New York kind of start believing her and thinking the Ninja Turtles and the mutants are good. And they come up with this plan. They have like this anti-mutagen kind of thing. And Attack on Titan, comes up as a big kind of plot point. Donatello's like, in Attack on Titan, when they fight these giant monsters, their weakness is in the back of their neck. And they're like, Superfly is now part whale and he has a big blowhole, so they're like, if we throw the anti-mutagen there, we'll be able to stop him. So, Attack on Titan is saving the day over here. So they try to do it, but they're kind of failing. They just don't have, there's barely any of them, and they're getting badly beat up. But then the people of New York show up, which is like a cool action scene. And they all team up to help the Turtles, which I absolutely love. It reminds me of Spider-Man, where a lot of times where like in the first Spider-Man movie, like Green Goblin is at the bridge and he's holding these people hostage and Mary Jane, and the people of New York come and they have Spider-Man's back. They're like, hey, you're the bad guy, leave him alone, New Yorkers, we have Spider-Man's back. So it kind of reminds me of that scene, which I absolutely love. So they end up teaming up, and they actually are able to stop Superfly. They throw the anti-mutagen in his whale hole, and he demutates to all the other animals he absorbed. And the day is saved. And then it ends in a way that I've never seen in any other Ninja Turtle franchise, or at least when they're really teenagers. So the city and the people accept them. Like, they cheer them, they're like all happy and everything. So the Ninja Turtles and the mutants end up getting accepted, like in a big way. Like, the movie ends with the Ninja Turtles going to high school, which I think is something we've never seen in any of the media. Not in disguises or anything, just straight up, in their mutant form. They become high school kids and they're accepted by their high school, which I absolutely loved. And I think it's something they're gonna do in the future franchise, because apparently they're making a show based off this movie and other movies based off of it, which is fantastic, because like I said, I've never seen a movie or the Ninja Turtles like actual high school kids accepted by society. So I'm interested to see how this plays out in the future. I really love this ending. as a fan of the Ninja Turtles, I felt real emotional, and I was very happy, and I was like, yes, people love them, because I love them too, so it was really cool. So the movie has a mid-credit scene. It ends with them going to high school, and then the mid-credit scene kind of shows them at high school doing all the stuff they were talking about doing throughout the movie, and then it ends with them going to prom. But then there's like the TCRI people are monitoring them on video, and they're like, okay, we need to get these turtles. I thought it was gonna be hard, but we know where they're at. And they're like, someone called the Shredder, and it ends with a shot of the Shredder, just kind of looking at the city. So it's setting up. I don't know if he's gonna be part of the TV show or if, in the next movie, but it's very exciting stuff. So that's where the movie ends. Like I said, it's fantastically animated. Great action, great comedy. One of my favorite action scenes is when they're beating up all the gangsters and mobsters across the city. It's like this, like they fight them all at the same time, and it's just kind of rotating, changing perspective. It's a very cool, awesome action scene. I also like the end action scene at the end of New York, how the people are helping them try to get this anti-mutagen to Superfly. Really, really cool stuff. There's a lot of action scenes I actually really love. I think my only nitpick and one thing I didn't like was why they become ninjas in this movie. So a lot of times in the Ninja Turtles, their origin is connected to the Foot Clan. Either Master Splinter is already a martial arts expert, or a master of ninjutsu, or he had a master who was into ninjutsu and he learned from him. I think their original origin was he was a rat and his master was Hamato Yoshi. Yeah, Hamato Yoshi? No, that's whatever. He's a rat who learns from his master, and that's where he gets his ninja skill, and he teaches this to his sons. This one in the last live action movies for Michael Bay, they kind of do it in a cheap way. In the Michael Bay one, they just find a book and they decide to become ninjas, which is weird. In this one, after Splinter is scared by the humans, he decides that his sons need to be able to defend themselves, which makes sense. But he just kind of randomly says he's like, I decided to teach him ninjutsu. So they watch a bunch of movies and stuff like that to learn the ninja arts, which is fine. It's a cool, fucking, funny little thing. But like, it doesn't make any sense. It's like, why did you choose ninjutsu? You don't have a connection to it. Maybe they'll retcon it later, but it didn't make any sense because he was just a regular rat in the movie who no one liked. He wasn't a human who knew ninja arts or anything like that. And even in past or in the like current IDW thing, he's like a reincarnated, ninja master from the past, and so are his sons. So that kind of makes sense. It's just a little aspect I don't like. Like, I don't think, it's fine if they learn through movies and everything like that. It works, but I feel like they still need to have that connection to the ninja arts somehow. Like maybe he watched the movies as a rat and he thought it was cool, so that's why he wanted to teach or learn and teach his sons that. It just, like I said, it's a nitpick, not a big deal, but I feel like they could have had that connection a little bit better. It doesn't kill anything. So overall, like I said, it's a fantastic movie. Absolutely loved it as an animation fan, as a Ninja Turtle fan. Great stuff. I look forward to this franchise, where it's going. Like I said, they've already said that they're going to make a TV show based off this movie and more movies, which I really hope they do, because like I said, I loved it. I love the world they set up. I love where they ended up with the Ninja Turtles being accepted and going to high school. It's going to be something different and unique that we've never seen, the Ninja Turtles in high school. Like, I think we have seen them like public and seen by society and some people accepting them, but like I said, I've never seen them in high school as teenagers, like legit teenagers. So it's going to be exciting stuff. I'm very excited for it. Very happy. Like I said, I love that ending. I was just very happy. If you watched the movie, what did you think? Did you love it? Did you hate it? I know the movie doesn't really technically come out for a few days. I saw an early screening of it. But when you watch the movie, let me know in the comments below what you thought about it. As a TMNT fan, is it one of the best TMNT things or one of the worst? Let me know in the comments below. As always, thank you for watching, like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.